Yo, this is Hidrux. Check me out on Twitch TV, Hidrux. Previous sessions, YouTube, Hidrux Gaming. I'm gonna be looking at Godot celebrating 20 subs on YouTube. And it's something I usually do. Last time I did RPG Maker. This time I'm gonna be looking at Godot because it's a free alternative. It doesn't have as much assets. Just trying to find my right button here. There we go. It doesn't have as much assets as far as I know. Like, I'm going in totally blind, but as far as like RPG Maker is kind of ready to go. So this is coming 100% with. This is coming 100% blind. I have no clue what I'm doing here. What would this be categorized as? It's Game Maker, I guess. Game Maker. Game Maker. Let's see how long that's gonna take. Minute-ish, 65 megs. That's pretty short. So I won't be doing any training. It's sort of like the gimmick is not really the gimmick, but the approach is just really blind, and we're gonna see what I can do. I do have experience with RPG Maker, and I have JavaScript experience. I have a little bit of JavaScript experience and credentials, and a little bit of C++ credentials. Not much experience there. Besides, like, synth-edits, I made a couple modules that were required, like decibel to volts, volts to decibel. That's like all I made because I wanted my own. But I had to go through C++ to do that, and I just had an introductory course for that. And I'm just doing my best to fill empty air here. Maybe grab a shot of something to drink here. Just waiting for this to download. Yeah, this is what I'll be getting into today. Not really. I don't like to have a super big goal as far as, I want to complete a whole level or a whole stage or anything like that. This is just very introductory, and I do these streams like every time I get around 10. I think every, how would you say, every decade? Every decade. I don't know how to use the deck word for regular stuff. Like, we say decade, right? But I don't know how to say the 10 for regular stuff. I don't know. Let's go look it up. How to use the word decade as a measure for something else. A decade can be used to measure time, so it's used to measure ratios. Decades measure time. It's decade to measure ratios. No, measure like. What did I even start with? What was I even on about? Let's extract this. I'm not sure what the difference is here. Let's just go with stable 64, I guess, because console is just super tiny. And then, yeah, we'll see if that works. Any day now. I missed it. Okay, so what is this? Does it just run like that? Like, it's totally that deployable? Like, it doesn't even have like a main front face kind of thing? Main interface-ish? So I guess maybe I'll move it somewhere else. I don't know, because I hate to work out of downloads. Just grab it. I'll leave that there. Workflow, project data. I wonder what this would be under game development. Excuse me. What? Because it's open. Okay, so let's close that. Let's try again. So it just runs like that, eh? I haven't the foggiest here. Full screen. So create. Project will be automatically created. Render, forward, mobile, compatible. Let's see. Let's do something else, because last time I did something in Cree, right? I want to do sort of something along the same lines, but maybe not Cree. Let's not target something tribal, I guess. Something tribal. Futuristic, I guess. Something expert. Let's say something. Let me say evolved tribal, evolved tribal. Evolved tribal. Something evolved tribal. Evolved tribal? Why does it have to be something? Something evolved tribal. Tribal evolved? Something in tribal. That sounds good. I like that. Something in tribal. Okay, and then why are you putting it there? Create folder. Save the projects at the path, create a subfolder. Let's put it like right underneath. What is this interface? Like, what? Up. Because you can always tell the way things work, like what their sort of back end is. What is Godot made in? Wikipedia. So I just put wiki. It's going to pull up a whole wiki bit. Okay, so what is it coded in? C++. Interesting. So I can expect it to be a little janky. I wish like it would just stay dark theme. I don't know. Every time I go back to Wikipedia, it's always like light theme, and my eyes just bleed. Project data. Give me a list. I don't like the way that looks. Game dev. And then here, does that? Does it just? Yeah. Okay. So it automatically makes. Forward Plus supports desktop platforms only. Advanced 3D graphics can scale large complex scenes. Used rendering device backend. Slower rendering of simple scenes. Slower? Why is it slower for simple? Okay, mobile supports plus mobile. Desktop plus mobile. Less advanced 3D. Less scalable. Uses rendering. Fast rendering of simple scenes. Compatible. Supports desktop, mobile, and web. Okay, there we go. Least advanced 3D graphics. Intended for low-end older devices. Uses GPL backend. Fastest rendering. So let's go something like that, I guess. Version control. For metadata, sure. Edit now. Okay, so I have no clue what to do here. Let's go. Godot key engine. Something in tribal. Okay, so let's say 2D scene. No 2D. Yeah, I haven't found it. Like it's not. I'm not finding it to be very intuitive. Script game. What is this? Let's play. Start asset library. So what do I got to do? Like I have no assets, right? I had node here. What is this? I mean, I can go for some training and stuff, but this is like, as I said, it's sort of the approach, right? Animated sprite. So I think I got to go get some sprites. I want to avoid using RPG Maker assets, but like there's tools there too, right? Isn't there like any examples? Help. Okay, so I can at least do this. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to click and poke and right. So let's go look at getting started kind of thing. Godot. Let's close these off and I'll tuck this in the back. Okay, so right at the front here, latest news, different way to make games, innovative design, use the right language. We have some GD scripts, C#, C++, so I can use C++, which is interesting. dedicated 2D engine. Okay, so let's check out this 2D bit because that's what I'll be using for the most part. Release on all platforms, simple, powerful 3D, open source. Okay. Let's check this out. Oh, did it just like throw me to the bottom of the page? Godot's right for you. Purchase for 1,000 words. It's very 3D looking. Let's see more projects. Cool tools. I thought there was going to be like this big long install the installer installing. But yeah, it's just like there, boom, done. We're into the field already, and I don't even just standing there without any grass or ground. I guess I would be standing there, I'd be like floating there. Videos. Work with real 2D and pixel-based unit systems. Save time creating 2 worlds. The tile. See, like this, yes. But there's no master usability of flexible GUI systems. Like, yeah, not good. Thanks to a dedicated 2D pipeline, we can forget about Z-axis, simplify your game logic, think in pixels, and screen coordinates, the engine does the rest, save time, create 2D worlds with a tile editor, whether you want procedural or meticulously handcrafted level with Godot's built-in tile map editor, you can achieve every goal, import a sprite, and convert it to a database of building blocks. 2D world, master usability with a flexible GUI system, build scalable, adaptable user interfaces with Godot's unique GUI system created specifically to power layouts common to the games. It's also compatible with handling UI applications and tools. For example, what UI system is capable of, see the Godot editor itself. Okay, so yes, ready to start download the latest, and then looking for other platforms, instructions. Other Godot downloads. Godot demo projects, here we go. So demo projects, asset library, AR library, plugins in Java, and Kotlin. Preview builds. Okay, so this is where I want to be here. Let's see what we got. It's 2D, 3D, Godot demo projects, importing all demos, trying demos in your browser, useful links. What is this? Okay, so that's source code documentation. Is there like no getting started? Okay, so like what is all of this now? Can I just get this? What's this? Okay, so is that, this is where the store is kind of thing? Demos. Any? Search. And then license. Whew. The unlicensed license proprietary. Let's try that. So I'm just looking for price tags here. Not seeing anything. Do I have to like click them? No. There's like, it's not a store. It's just like give everything away free. Okay, getting started. Here we go. Introduction. The series will introduce you to Godot and give you an overview of its features. In the following pages, you will get answers such as Godot. What can I do with Godot? Introducing essential concepts. Okay, so this is probably where I want to be. I mean, these are great, but so this is probably going to be a bit of a dry stream where I'm just going to be like kind of poking through things here. I know I didn't even do a sound test. I'm going to do a quick sound test and make sure that like you can actually hear me. Okay, so I don't think my voice is ducking the music. Mic check 1 2 3. Yeah, no, I don't think my voice is ducking the perceived music. So I got to get into this. I want to do right click here, so I'll just copy the filters from here. At least like I wasn't just like out silent stream, that would have been awful. Okay, I want to copy filters. Copy filters, paste filters. Okay, there. Now I should be able to duck the music. Yeah, it looks like it's ducking now, which is good because I needed to duck. And I'm going to check. Checking now. Microphone check. Microphone check. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I hope it's ducking. Looks good. It's not really. Stream is way behind, I think. Microphone check. 1, 2, 3. Excuse the whole other thing. I should have done this earlier, but there was a lot to set up before this. Yeah. Okay. And hopefully that doesn't bake into my stream. The music, I'm pretty sure it's ready to. It's set up properly. I just want to double check. Looks good, I suppose. Okay. Here we go. The series will introduce you to Godot, blah, blah, blah. Okay, introduction. Introduction to set how you find out whether Godot might be good for you. We will introduce some broad features of the engine and give you a feel for what you can achieve with it and answer a question such as, what do I need to know to get started? This is by no means an exhaustive overview. We will introduce you many more features in this Getting Started series. What is Godot? Let's go full screen here. Godot is a general-purpose 2D and 3D game engine designed to support all sorts of projects. You can use it to create games or applications you can then release on desktop or mobile, as well as on the web. You can also create console games with it, although you need either strong programming skills or a developer to port the game for you. Note, the Godot team can't provide an open-source console export due to licensing terms imposed by console manufacturers. Regardless of the engine use, though, releasing games on consoles is always a lot of work. You can read more on that here. Okay, so I don't have no major plans here for console release. What can the engine do? Godot was initially developed in-house by an Argentine game studio. That's like Argentina. Its development started in 2001, and the engine was rewritten and improved tremendously since its open source release in 2014. Some of the example games created with Godot include X Zodiac and Hounds of Fury. So to mention it's respectively X Zodiac and Hounds of Fury. As for applications, the open source pixel art drawing format Pixelorama is powered by Godot, and so is the voxel RPG creator RPG in a Box. The open source pixel art drawing program is powered, and so is voxel RPG creator RPG in a Box. Maybe I want RPG in a Box. Right? There's that RPG in a Box. RPG in a Box. Probably costs money though, eh? Where's all the other results? Is it just the one? Maybe because I put a dot after. How much dollar? RPG in a Box. Forum demo. Docs. See, this is the kind of thing, like, it's pretty much the same thing as RPG Maker now. At this point, this is sort of like, right? Buy on Epic. I prefer Epic, so let's just see. So yeah, it's pretty much, yeah. But I mean, it comes with assets and stuff already, and it doesn't look that good, though. But it's a voxel, though. So, I mean, I guess it's not supposed to look good. How much? $40? It's a lot better than RPG Maker. What can it do, though? I'll have to look at that some other time. Let's check out some pictures here. What's this? How much is it here? 32. Here it's 33, so it's cheaper on Epic a little bit. Just looking here, and I prefer Epic. That's really where I go to. I've never really had a Steam account. It's not that I prefer it, it's just I've always leaned into Epic more because I don't make money off gaming. I was never really much of like a lean into gaming hard until recently, a couple years ago, just to like to relax and stuff. And then I was like, well, I'm also streaming on Twitch, so I might as well game on Twitch too. So yeah, and it looks interesting. I don't know, is it like a drawing tool? This might totally be where I want to go. So anyway. Continuing along, they just kind of like cannibalizing themselves. How does it work? And look, Godot comes with a fully fledged game editor, integrated tools. So what is it also? What's this export? Voxel editor. Yeah, like looks like Bit Hero. Plus the voxels are kind of big, and I'm not really sure I want to go with voxels. Or yeah. So what does it export to? Combat, other features. Demo. Okay, so I don't see anything as far as like how it builds or what it builds into. What is... You can export your game to a standalone format for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, and others to play it. Okay, so that's just the basic ones that I'd much like to have. Stuff on my phone too, just to mess around. When it comes to the fully fledged game editor with integrated tools to answer the most common needs, it includes a code editor, animation editor, tile editor, shader editor, a debugger, a profiler, and more. But it doesn't have like a, what's it called, a mesh editor, right? You can't actually design in it. The team strives to offer a feature-rich game editor with consistent user experience. While this is always room for improvement, the user interface keeps getting refined. Of course, if you prefer to work with external programs, we officially support importing 3D scenes designed in Blender and maintain plugins to code in VS Code and Emacs. What's Emacs? Oh, did it just open in this window? Yeah, thanks. Can you not? For GDScript and C#. We also support Visual Studio and C# on Windows. Programming languages, so you can see pictures. What is this? So I don't know, it's like a plugin creator, I guess. Programming languages. Let's talk about the available programming languages. You can code your games using GDScript, Godot specific and tightly integrated language with a lightweight syntax, or C#, which is popular in the game industry. These are the two main scripting languages we support. With the GD extension technology, you can also write gameplay or high-performance algorithms in C or C# without recompiling the engine. You can use this technology to integrate third-party libraries and other software development kits into the engine. Of course, you can also directly add modules and features to the engine. It's completely free and open source. Okay, so we can code directly in Godot. We're using GDScript and C#. However, we have to use a type of plugin to do C and C#. C#, C++. I don't know. It's not like I'm going to really be leaning into it. C# is just something I want to touch on and be out of. I'm really more JavaScript. And this is just me chilling. So, yeah, it's not a big deal. Godot is a feature-packed game engine with thousands of features that are a lot to learn. To make the most of it, you will need good programming foundations. While we try to make the engine accessible, you will benefit from a lot knowing from how to think like a programmer first. Godot relies on the object-oriented programming paradigm. Being comfortable with concepts such as classes and objects will help you code efficiently in it. If you are entirely new to programming, we recommend the following CS50 open courseware from Harvard University. It's a great free course that will teach you everything you need to know to be off to a good start. It will save you countless hours and hurdles of learning any game engine afterwards. So yeah, I know of this. This is like a free course from Harvard or something. I've never actually taken it, but yeah, it's like no guarantees that it's going to get me into a programming job, and honestly, I don't want to be in a programming job. I am a musician first. In CS50, you will learn multiple programming languages. Don't be afraid of that. Programming languages have many similarities. The skills you learn with one language will transfer well to others. We will provide you with more Godot-specific learning resources in learning new features. In the next part, we'll get an overview of the engine's essential concepts. So this is more like an e-learning. Learn to code with GD script. Okay, so what is this? Learning features. Just gotta brief this. Okay. As well, I might as well be briefing this. This is a lot of... I mean, how long is this? Okay, learning to code with GD script. I'm just gonna step through it. Well, there's even like a comments box. Overview of key concepts. This is generally how I like to learn, is to brief everything first. First look at Godot's interface, project manager. First look at editor. 5 main scenes. Integrated class reference. Okay. So I'm also looking over here at the same time. Learning the features, making the most of the manual. Learning to think like a programmer, learning with the community tutorials. Godot's design philosophy, albeit organized, blah, blah, blah. All-inclusive package, open source, community-driven, Godot editors. What is a Godot? The Godot editor is a Godot game. Okay. Separate 2D, 3D engines. Step by step. Series builds upon some nodes and scenes, creating instances, script languages. Creating your first script, listening to player input using signals. Okay, so then into here. Nodes and scenes. I might actually... I thought I was through it. Now this is a whole... I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover this all today. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to be able... I mean, I can do my best to cover it. And then, like, when I hit 30 subs, then I'll be back, kind of thing. I was really hoping to do something in it. I guess I could, like, afterwards go poke at the included scenes or whatever. Okay, so let's keep going. Creating your first scripts. Oh, man. I gotta read all this. I also gotta do some hands-on, too. So this isn't gaming to me. I might have to break this down into bite-sized pieces, and I might have to split my gaming day in half. So that's fine. I'll do as much as I can in an hour, and then that'll have to be it, because this is everything. This is what Blender should have. I feel like. Here we go. Finally. And then 3D. No, contents for more stuff. Okay, so the player scene. Yeah, I'm in for it. Coding the player. But I mean, it's holistic, and I feel like that's what Blender is missing. When it had its game engine, it was kind of like, I knew there was resources there. Plus, it was in a time when, well, there's actually no excuse, because it did have documentation like this. It just didn't feel as holistic as this. I feel like this is more holistic. Like, I can actually do stuff. Whereas instead of just me making a plane that's rigid and fixed and then rolling a ball across it and then falling off the plane, that's pretty much all I was able to do in Blender. But I don't know, a stoner and young. Didn't have any programming experience or any programming whatsoever. 3D game. Okay, so then I can get the contents here. Look at all this stuff, man. Okay, so I haven't even been briefing it. I've just been going through it, and I wanted to see like sort of the length of it. And as I said, I'll go through as much as I can. So this is going to become a tutorial series or like a documentation series, I guess, for me. Like, if you're going to do things, do something. If you're going to do something, anything worth doing is worth doing right the first time, right? So here we go, I suppose. But again, I don't like to do tutorials. I don't like to do documentation. Well, I like to do documentation. I don't like to do tutorials. I'm not in it to hold anybody else's hand through things and teach people. I mean, one of the tenets of learning is teaching. It's the hardest. However, it's not a dedication for me. Like, I'm not interested in all of the accolades and stuff that go along with tutorial making. Killing the player. But I mean, those people that visit my YouTube for this segment are welcome to join me in the journey, and I'll do what I can to demonstrate and document. So here we go, my video game career, I guess. Every 10 subs on YouTube. We're going to step through this documentation a little more. We'll see how much I can do in a day. I'm just about done making it through character animation. So there's no like mesh editing in here though, eh? Okay, further. That's pretty holistic. Best practices. What? Oh, manual. Okay. So yeah, it's set to the manual. So I won't be reviewing the manual. I'll just go through the introduction, which is getting started. It's like a year of material. Okay. So where did I leave off here? Introduction, I guess. So I went through that already. It's a lot. Learning to script. What? Learning to code with GDScript. Okay, so I think that's where I left off, right? So what do I need to use? Yeah, that's pretty much where I left off. I looked at this course and then that's where I was. So just considering what to do next here. Because I like to brief. I'm just trying to figure out how much I'm going to make it through today. One bit, concepts, learning new features, Godot's design philosophy. Okay, so I'll probably make it through this batch as far as introductory, and then the next sessions, I'll go through this stuff. Because these are kind of like a whole session on their own, each bit, I think. Maybe not, though. But I'm not just going to like read through everything and not do anything. I feel like that's all I'm going to be doing this session, though. It's just reading through everything and not really doing anything. That's why I'm going to include looking at some of the template games, I guess, too, before getting into it. So, yeah. Back to introduction. So I've already done the first bits. To the next one. Learn to code with GDScript. In Godot, you can write code using GDScript and C# programming languages. If you are new to programming, we recommend starting with GDScript because we designed it to be simpler than all-purpose languages like C#. It will be both faster and easier to learn. While GDScript is a language specific to Godot, the techniques you will learn with it and will apply to other programming languages. Note that this is completely normal. Full screen here. No, not developer. And maybe we'll get a little bigger here. There we go. Okay. Note that it is completely normal for a programmer to learn and use multiple languages. Let's get a little bigger. No, that's fine. Programming languages have more similarities than differences, so once you know one, you can learn another much faster. Learn in your browser with GDScript. Can I get rid of this box? Learn in your browser with GDScript, with the GDScript app. To learn GDScript, you can use the app Learn GDScript from Zero. It is a complete beginner course with interactive practices you can do right in your browser. Okay, so here's, this is sort of like a lot of the compilers we see when we're practicing and stuff. Click here to access the app, Learn GDScript from Zero app. This app is an open source project. To report bugs or contribute, head to the app source code repository. In the next part, you will get an overview of the engine's essential concepts. So I won't be working with GDScript or C#. My language of choice, as I've said before, is JavaScript, and then C++ is second because I make audio plugins, and C++ is the language for that. So, yeah. Overview of Godot's key concepts. Every game engine revolves around abstractions you use to build your applications. In Godot, a game is a tree of nodes that you group together into scenes. You can then wire these nodes so they can communicate using signals. There are the 4 concepts you will learn here. We're going to look at them briefly to give you a sense of how the engine works. In the Getting Started series, you will get to use them in practice. Scenes. Scenes. In Godot, you break down your game into reusable scenes. A scene can be a character, a weapon, a menu in the user interface, a single house, an entire level, or anything you can think of. Godot's scenes are flexible. They fill the role of both prefabs and scenes in some other game engines. So here we see a picture of Godot demonstrating potentially a scene. You can also nest scenes. For example, you can put your character in a level and drag and drop a scene as a child of it. So we see sort of a scene outliner, and then we have a character standing in the scene. Looks like he's being equipped with a type of weapon, I think. I'm not sure. Nodes. A scene is composed of 1 or more nodes. Nodes are your game's smallest building blocks that you arrange into trees. Here's an example of a character's nodes. So let me see again the outliner. It shows picture, players, camera 2D, sprite 2D, collision shape. And we got a square. It is made of a character body 2D node named player, a camera 2D, a sprite 2D, and a collision 2D. So some of these things have sort of like a code emphasis around them. Note, the node names end with 2D because this is a 2D scene. The 3D counterparts have the names that end with 3D. Be aware that spatial nodes are now called Node 3D, starting with Godot 4. Notice how nodes and scenes look in the same editor. When you save a tree of nodes as a scene, it then shows as a single node, with its internal structure hidden in the editor. Godot provides an extensive library of base node types so you can combine and extend to build more powerful ones. 2D, 3D, or user interface. You will do most things with these nodes. Okay, let me see the outliner again. It says node, and then it has like a subtree. And then there's something's canvas item. There's a node T 2D inside of that with a bunch of other, I guess, bits. So I'll review it in a second. The scene tree. All of your game scenes come together in the scene tree. Literally a tree of scenes. And as scenes are trees of nodes, the scene tree also is a tree of nodes. But it's easier to think of your game in terms of scenes as they can represent characters, weapons, doors, or your user interface. Signals. Nodes emit signals when some event occurs. This feature allows you to make nodes communicate without hardwiring them in code. It gives you a lot of flexibility in how you structure your scenes. Note, signals are Godot's versions of the observer pattern. You can read more about it here. It says going to gameprogrammingpatterns.com. For example, buttons emit a signal when pressed. You can connect a piece of code to the signal which will run in reaction to this event, like starting the game or opening a menu. Other built-in signals can tell you when two objects collided, when a character or monster entered a given area, and much more. You can also define new signals tailored to your game. Summary. Nodes, scenes, the scene tree, and signals are 4 core concepts in Godot that you will manipulate all the time. Nodes are your game's smallest building block. You combine them to create scenes that you then combine and nest into the scene tree. You can then use signals to make nodes react to events in other nodes or different scene tree branches. After this short breakdown, you probably have many questions. Bear with us as we'll get many answers throughout. Bear with us as you will get many answers throughout the Getting Started series. Okay, so I was kind of a little confused as well about the whole, especially this one, there's one bit here, where would it say? As here it is. All of your game scenes come together in the scene tree, literally a tree of scenes. And as scenes are trees of nodes, the scene tree also is a tree of nodes. Okay, so, but then they kind of they sum it up, they make it a little more simple here. Nodes are your game's smallest building blocks. You combine them to create scenes that you will then combine and nest into the scene tree. You can then use signals to make nodes react to events in other nodes or different scene tree branches. So it's really word salad, I guess. Very tongue twistery. But I mean, the idea is quite simple, I think. It's just like, things are inside other things, is what they're saying, kind of thing. And they're just like, they have their technical words for them. It's like the apple on a stem, on a branch, on a trunk, in the ground, kind of thing. My phone's going off here, could get lost. And they just have their technical words for it, and they're trying to like describe it, but it just turns into word salad. Okay, so first look at Godot's interface. This page will give you a brief overview of Godot's interface. We're going to look at the different main scenes and docks to help you situate yourself. See also, for a comprehensive breakdown of the editor's interface and how to use it, see the editor manual. The Project Manager. When you launch Godot, the first window you see is the Project Manager. In the default tab, Projects, you can manage existing projects, import or create new ones, and more. So yeah, this kind of threw me off. It just happened so fast. At the top of the window, there's another tab called Asset Library. The first time you go into this tab, you will see a Go Online button. For privacy reasons, the Godot Privacy Manager does not access the internet by default. To change this, click the Go Online button. You can change this option later in the settings. Once your network mode is set to online, you can search for demo projects in the open source asset library, which include many projects developed by the community. So here, that's something I missed out on. I imagine if I would have seen that right away, I would have been like, oh, and then opened it up, and then, I would have been slamming my head into the wall kind of thing. I feel like this is probably the best approach. The project manager settings can be opened using the settings menu. So you can see it in the corner here. From here, you can change the editor's language, default in the system language. Interface theme, display scale, network mode, and also the directory naming convention. See also, to learn the project manager's ins and outs, read using the project manager. First, look at Godot's editor. When you open a new or existing project, the editor's interface appears. Let's look at its main areas. Okay, so we see Godot here. That's the first thing I've seen. By default, along the window's top edge, it features main menu on the left, workspace switching buttons in the center, active workspace is highlighted, and playtest buttons and the movie maker mode toggle on the right. Just below the workspace buttons, the opened scenes as tabs are seen. The plus button right next to the tabs will add a new scene to the project. With the button on the far right, distraction-free mode can be toggled, which maximizes or restores the viewport's size by hiding docks in the interface. I feel like I should be looking at these things. So I'll go over it again and then I'll poke at things. In the center, below the scene selector, is the viewport with its toolbar at the top where you'll find different tools to move, scale, or lock the scene's nodes. Currently, the 3D workspace is active. The toolbar changes based on the context and select mode. Here's the 2D toolbar. Here's the 3D one. It shows different toolbars. It looks like the 3D one has a few more buttons. See also, to learn more on workspaces, read the 5 main scenes. See also, to learn more on the 3D viewport and 3D in general, read Introduction to 3D. On either side of the viewport sit the docks. At the bottom of the windows lies the bottom panel. Let's look at the docks. The File System docks lists your project files, including scripts, images, audio samples, and more. So we see another outliner or browser type thing. It says File Systems, and we have a tree hierarchy in it. And it just has an SVG, icon SVG. The scene dock lists the active scene's nodes. So again, another scene outliner, and it shows 2D scene, 3D scene user interface. The inspector allows you to edit the properties of a selected node. So inspector node history. So another this actually looks more like a properties panel than it is an outliner. See also, to read more on inspector, see the inspector. See also, docks can be customized. Read more on moving and resizing docks. The bottom panel, situated below the viewport, is the host for debug console, the animation editor, the audio mixer, and more. They can take precious space. That's why they're folded by default. Okay, so the bottom panel, it just shows a toolbar. Once you click on one, it expands vertically. Below, you can see the animation editor opened. It shows an expanded version of that toolbar. Bottom panels can be shown or hidden using the shortcuts defined in the editor settings shortcuts under the bottom panels category. The 5 main screens. There are 5 main screens centered at the top of the editor: 2D, 3D, script, game, and asset library. You'll use the 2D screen for all types of games. In addition to 2D games, the 2D screen is where you'll build your interfaces. It shows a picture of Godot open with it looks like a 2D editor. In the 3D screen, you can work with meshes, lights, and design levels for 3D games. Now it shows Godot open with the 3D editor. Note, read the introduction to 3D for more detail about the 3D main screen. The game screen is where your project will appear when running it from the editor. You can go through your project to test it and pause it and adjust it in real time. Note that this is for testing how adjustments will work. Any changes made here are not saved when the game stops running. Interesting. So we see an image of TPS demo and it shows some 3D stuff. The script screen is a complete code editor with a debugger, rich auto completion, and built-in code reference. It shows an image of Godot with its script editor open. It's got a script in there. Finally, the asset library is a library of free and open source add-ons, scripts, and assets to use in your projects. So it shows Godot with asset lib open, and it shows some projects. See also, you can learn more about the asset library in the About the Asset library. Integrated class reference. Godot comes with a built-in class reference. You can search for information about a class, method, property, constant, or signal by any one of the following methods. Press F1 or Alt space on a macOS, or function plus F1 for laptops with a function key anywhere on the editor. Clicking the search help button in the top right of the screen Click the search help button in the top right of the screen main screen, on the script main screen. Clicking on the help menu and search help. Control click, command click on macOS on a class name, function name, or built-in variable in the script editor. Okay, so it shows the top toolbar. And it shows all the locations of where the help button exists. When you do any of these, a window pops up. Type the search for any item. You can also use it to browse available objects and methods. So we see a search help, displaying some sort of help. Double click on an item to open a corresponding page in the script main screen. And it shows sort of a documentation panel, which is really nice. Alternatively, clicking while pressing Control key on a class name, function name, or built-in variable in the script editor. Right-clicking on nodes and choosing Open Documentation, or choosing Lookup symbol for elements in the script editor will directly open their documentation. Okay, so that was first look at Godot's interface. So I'm going to go through these myself, right? So pop out of full screen mode here. So we got the project manager. Let's close something in Tribal here. So it's project, I'm going to say close. 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 Quit to project list. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's fine. Save and close. What do you mean? What are you saving? What is this? Save scene as. No, I don't want to. Project. Why is scene over here? Close scene. Don't save. What? Oh. Huh? Something in Tribal. So is that like a scene? I don't know. Okay, so at the top of the window, asset library. This time, go online. So that's what it's pointing at now. Let's go check that out. Asset library. Let's go online. Okay. It's those. Projects manager settings can be open in the settings here. It looks like I've populated some stuff. Oh, there's even Rust. Cool. Let's go to settings here. Okay. Directory naming convention, kebab, snake, camel. I prefer Pascal, honestly, but I'm going to go default with kebab because that's what it's defaulting as. And we'll just keep this offline. Display scale, let's go 125 because that's where I like things. Project must be restarted. Interface theme, just 125 because that's I'm on a laptop at full HD, and yeah, it needs to be a little bigger. Okay, so let's go ahead and restart now, and that'll likely close it. Okay, so we can get it out of the way. First, look at the editor. So what do I got to do here to get there? When you open a new or existing project, this is the main editor. So let's go ahead and reopen something in Tribal. I'm not sure if the editor is going to follow that 125% scaling convention. It looks like it has. So let's head back to 3D because that's what it shows here. Right. By default, laptop's age. You got this, that, playtest, as well. Open scenes are here. Then viewport toolbar. You find different tools. Tools change depending on the perspective or the type. So yeah, they do like sort of almost completely change, right? It's interesting. The other side of the viewport's docks, the file system, which is where here. Okay, so that's the file system. The scene dock lists the active scenes, which is here. Okay, inspector allows you to edit properties of a selected node. So where's the inspector? Here. Okay. At the bottom panel, situated below the viewport, is the host for the debug console, the animation editor, the audio mixer, and more. Okay. When you click it, it expands. Okay, so let's go ahead and click it. No, I gotta click something first. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I want to go book edit. Because I'm an audio guy, so I just want to see add effects. What do you got? Interesting. It's got a whole spectrum analyzer even. How do I open it? How do I see it? I guess I'll get to that eventually, huh? Actually, I don't know where it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. If I can figure out how. Delete effect. Okay, there we go. What happens if I click it again? It closes. Okay, cool. And then bottom panel, showing they're hidden. Shortcuts. Okay, so bottom panels can also be shown or hidden using the shortcuts defined in editor settings shortcuts under bottom panels category. So where is settings? Just looking here around here. So where's the settings? Oh, here. My mouse was hiding it. Okay, and then what? Bottom panels can be just editor settings shortcuts. That's a whole bunch of settings. Shortcuts. Of course, they're all open. Oh, they're right here. Okay, and then whoa. Under bottom panels. Why is everything open? There. Okay. Was it shortcuts? Bottom panels can also be shown or hidden using shortcuts. Oh, using the shortcuts? So it's talking about like key shortcuts? Like not what's actually down here. It's just talking about what I gotta use to open and close them. I don't think so. Tree. Toggle grid map. Tile sets. Okay, so what's there? Shade editor. Okay, so what happens if I had something? Say theme. Is it there now? do I have to add a hotkey to it? So what happens if I get rid of Alt S here? Shader editor, and then I close, it still exists there. I'm not understanding why. No, not project settings. Editor settings. Like, so it doesn't, it's just for the shortcuts, I guess. It's not actually to add or remove it. Like, I can't put a theme there. Anyway. Okay, so the 5 main screens. There are 5 main screens: 2D, 3D, script, game, and asset library. You'll use the 2D for all types of games. In addition to 2D, you'll find a built-in interfaces. Okay. So that's this, right? I've already been here. I don't really know how to navigate it. There's nothing in there. If I had, a practice project open, we'd see something maybe. In the 3D, you can work with matches, lights, and design levels. Okay, so that's the 3D guy. That's this one. And then no 3D introduction. The game screen is where your project will appear when it's running. So that's this one. And then the script screen is where the scripts are. That's this one. And then the asset library is at the end where assets are at. Okay, and this is probably, I gotta hit go online. And then what kind of like assets does it grab? I wonder if that's the same as the project browser. I guess it's category, right? So I could probably, I don't know if, can I open another instance of the project browser? Or is it gonna see this version and be like, no, you can only have one. Okay, so I can see multiple versions. I want to see the difference between the assets libraries here. Okay, so yeah, there's no like, oh, I gotta go online first. Okay, and then templates, projects, demos, and then what's in here? Go online. 2D tools, 3D. Okay, so it's a completely different asset library. Good to know. Can I go offline now? Is there like a go offline button? What is this? I don't see like a go offline button. Outputs. It's fine, whatever. Okay, so I'll just close this. Integrated class references. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some help stuff. I'm not really interested in jumping into that bit right now, but I guess I can like pull something up here. So that's what it's talking about, right? Integrated class references. So if I was in the script window, can I just add like a pseudo script file? Nothing. Theme. I guess I'll just click these, right? Help. Got all the stuff here, as well as talking about F1. Let's help. So that's F1. And then control click to grab something. I can't even, I guess like a new file kind of thing. What else you got? Just GD script. Whatever that. Okay, so then I have control click. Control click. Okay. That gives me like a, well, not a brief, but a whole novel on. Okay, just looking at scripts. Help read out. I've looked at that. There's the novel bit. Okay, so clicking, pressing control, yes. Does it say that twice? Control, I think it does. Why does it reiterate? Whatever. Okay, so how do we get out of help? Escape? What is this? Make the script editor floating. How do I close it? I mean, it's great that it has a novel on help, but this back, is that it? Oh, that's minimize. Like, how do I go back to my script? This? Oh, okay, because it's a document. Okay, I see. Documentation's open. So how do I close it? Close. I close this. It doesn't even ask me to save. Maybe because it knows it's like a default thing. Right clicking on nodes, choose open documentation, or choosing lookup symbol. Okay, so I can also right clicking on nodes. So I guess it considers everything like clickable as a node. So new script. Give me that. What I gotta do now? This load file exists. It will be reused. Script file already exists. Okay. Open recent. There. And then I right click and say lookup symbol. The same thing happens. Okay, what else do we got for that option? Right clicking, open documentation, or choosing lookup symbol. Okay, so if I close this and I right click it, indent, I don't see open documentation. Maybe this, search help. I'm not 100% sure. I need to put in cuts. I've been running for an hour. Function name, built-in variable script editor. Supporting page in the script main screen. Okay, so what is this bit? Right clicking on nodes. Oh, around the side here. No? What's a node then? This? It just says node. Open documentation. I'm not sure about that one. I think I might just move on. Right clicking on nodes and choosing lookup symbol for elements. So is it classified this as a node? I'm trying to figure out. Close docs. Symbol. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. So maybe it'll come to me later down the road, I guess. Okay. What am I doing here? I think that actually might be it for today. That was quite a bit all at once, honestly. And you. So that's just the opening bits. And I'm kind of almost losing my voice already. I didn't expect to have to do a bunch of reading. Learning new features. I'm just going through what's left here. Because, yeah, I guess that was just like a really big section. So I could probably finish this off before calling it. So I'll continue and I'll finish off this first chunk, and then step by step will be the next part. Okay, so I'm on to learning new features. Learning new features. Godot is a feature-rich game engine. There's a lot to learn about it. This page explains how you can use the online manual, built-in code reference, and join online communities to learn new features and techniques. Making the most of this manual. Can I close this part over here? No? No. What you are reading now is the user manual. It documents each of the engine's concepts and available features. When learning a new topic, you can start by browsing the corresponding section of this website. The left menu allows you to explore broad topics, while a search bar will help you find more specific pages. If a page exists for a given theme, it will often look to more related content. We see a picture of a search entry. The manual has a companion class reference that explains each Godot's class available functions and properties when programming. While the manual covers general features, concepts, and how to use the editor, the reference is all about using Godot's scripting API. APIs, which acronym for Application Programming Interface. You can access it both online and offline. We recommend browsing the reference offline from within the Godot editor. To do so, go to Help, search Help, or press F1. You see a picture of the Help dialog open. To browse it online, head to the manual's class reference section. A class reference page tells you where the class exists in the inherent hierarchy. You can click the top links to jump to parent classes or see the properties and methods a type inherits. Class. So we see a picture of class, and we see a sort of a forward and back of each sort of hierarchy to that class, I guess. Okay. A summary of the class's role and use cases. 3. I missed my number. This is number 3. An explanation of class's properties, methods, signals, enums, and constants. Number 4. Links to page's manual for further detailing of class. Note: if the manual or class reference is missing or has insufficient information, please open an issue in the official Godot docs GitHub repository to report it. You can hold Control or Command in macOS and then mouse over text like the name of a class, property, method, signal, or constant to underline it. Then click Control-click, Command-click macOS it to jump to it. Learning to think like a programmer. Teaching programming foundations is how to think like a game developer is beyond the scope of Godot's documentation. If you're new to programming, we recommend 2 excellent free resources to get you started. Harvard University offers free courseware to learn to program, CS50. It will teach you programming fundamentals, how codes work, and how to think like a programmer. These skills are essential to become a game developer and learn any game engine efficiently. You can see this course as an investment that will save you time and trouble when you learn to create games. If you prefer books, check out the free ebook, Automate the Boring Stuff with Python, by Al Swigard? Learning with the community. Godot has a growing community of users. If you're stuck on a problem or need help to better understand how to achieve something, you can ask other users for help on one of the many active communities. The best place to ask questions and find out already answered ones is the official Godot forum. These responses show up in a search engine results and get saved, allowing other users to benefit from discussions on the platform. Once you have asked a question there, you can share its link to other social platforms. Before asking a question, be sure to look for existing answers that might solve your problem on the website, or using your preferred search engine. Asking questions well and providing details will help others answer your question faster and better. When asking questions, we recommend including the following information. Describe your goal. You want to explain what you are trying to achieve design-wise. If you are having trouble figuring out how to make a solution work, there may be a different, easier solution that accomplishes the same goal. 2. If there's an error involved, share the exact error message. You can copy the exact error message in the editor's debugger bottom panel by clicking on copy error icon. Knowing what it says can help community members better identify how you triggered the error. 3. If there is code involved, share a code used. Other users won't be able to help you fix a problem without seeing your code. Share the code as text directly. To do so, you can copy and paste a short code snippet in a chat box, or use a website like Pastebin to share long files. Share a screenshot of your scene doc along with your written code. Most of the code you write affects a node in your scene. As a result, you should think of those scenes as part of your source code. You see a picture of the outliner, and it's targeting a specific scene. Use your interface. Also, please don't take a picture with your phone. The low quality and screen reflections can make it hard to understand the image. Your operating system should have a built-in tool to take screenshots with the print screen key. macOS use Command+Shift+3 for a full screenshot. More information here. It shows a link out. Alternatively, you can use a program like ShareX on Windows or FlameShot on Linux. Share a video of your running game can also be really useful to troubleshoot your game. You can use programs like OBS Studio and Screen to GIF to capture your screen. You can use a service like Streamable or a cloud provider to upload and share your videos for free. If you're not using the stable version of Godot, please mention the version you're using. The answer can be different as available features in the interface evolve rapidly. Following these guidelines will maximize your chances of getting your answers you're looking for. They will save time for both you and the person helping you. Community tutorials. This manual aims to provide a comprehensive reference of Godot's features. Aside from the 2D and 3D Getting Started series, it does not contain tutorials to implement specific game genres. If you're looking for a tutorial about creating a role-playing game, a platformer, or other, please see Tutorials and Resources, which lists content made by the Godot community. Okay, so briefing again, summary. I got one more section to look at. So it just talks about the documentation, how to find new features, how to look them up, getting help in the community. And I want to take a quick look at this. And tutorials and resources. Okay, so it's just a few tutorials here. Let's head back. Close that. And finally the last bit here. Godot's design philosophy. Now that you've gotten your feet wet, let's talk about Godot's design. Every game engine is different and fits different needs. Not only do they offer a range of features, but the design of each engine is unique. This leads to different workflows and different ways to form your game structures. This all stems from their respective design philosophies. This page is here to help you understand how Godot works. Starting with some of its core pillars, it is not a list of available features, nor is it an engine comparison. To know if any engine can be a good fit for your project, you need to try it out for yourself and understand its designs and limitations. Please watch Godot Explained in 7 minutes if you're looking for an overview of the engine's features. Object-oriented design and composition. Godot embraces object-oriented design at its core with its flexible scene system and node hierarchy. It tries to stay away from strict programming patterns to offer an intuitive way to structure your game. For one, Godot lets you compose or aggregate scenes. It's like nested prefabs. You can create a blinking light scene and a broken lantern scene that uses the blinking light. Then create a city filled with broken lanterns. Change the blinking light's color, save, and all the broken lanterns in the city will update instantly. On top of that, you can inherit from any scene. A Godot scene could be a weapon, a character, an item, a level, or part of a level. Anything you'd like. It works like a class in pure code, except you're free to design it by using the editor, using only the code, or mixing and matching the two. It's different from prefabs you find in several 3D engines, as you can then inherit from and extend those scenes. You may create a magician that extends your character, modify the character in the editor, and the magician will update as well. It helps you to build your projects so that their structures match the game's design. So we see here a picture of character, wait, move, jump, and then that shows arrows. On the left we have wizard with a cast focus, wait, move, jump, and then to right /rush, wait, move, jump. So it shows like a, I don't know, looks like an eraser wearing a hat. Or it looks like an eraser, like a blank eraser. And then on the pointing down to the left, it shows like a eraser wearing a wizard hat with like a wand. And then down to the right, it shows like a red eraser holding what looks like eraser swords, like 2 swords, but they're very square. Also note that Godot offers many different types of objects called nodes, each with a specific purpose. Nodes are part of a tree and always inherit from their parents up to the node class. Although the engine does not feature some nodes like collision shapes that a parent physics body will use, most nodes work independently from one another. In other words, Godot's nodes do not work like components in some other games' engines. It shows a picture of an outliner. Sprite 2D and is a node 2D, a canvas item, and a node. It all has the properties and features of its 3 parent classes, like transforms or the ability to draw custom shapes and render with a custom shader. All-inclusive package. Godot tries to provide its own tools to answer most common needs. It has a dedicated scripting workspace, an animation editor, a tile map editor, a shader editor, a debugger, a profiler, the ability to hot reload locally on remote devices, etc. So it shows a picture of it. Looks like a mapping asset. Like it shows 2D tiles building, sort of like, it looks like a bushy scene. Some dirt on it, some grass. The goal is to offer a full package to create games on a continuous user experience. You can still work with external programs as long as there is an import plugin available in Godot for it. That is also partly why Godot offers its own programming language, GDScript, along with C#. GDScript is designed for the needs of game developers and game designers. It is tightly integrated in the engine and the editor. GDScript lets you write code using an indentation-based syntax, yet it detects types and offers a static language's quality of auto-completion. It is also optimized for gameplay code with built-in types like vectors and colors. Note that with GD extensions, you can write high-performance code using compiled languages like C, C++, Rust, D, Hax, or Swift without recompiling the engine. Note that the 3D workspace doesn't feature as many tools as the 2D workspace. You'll need external programs or add-ins to edit terrains, animate complex characters, and so on. Godot provides a complete API to extend the editor's functionality using game code. See, the Godot editor is a Godot game below. Open source. Godot offers a fully open source codebase under the MIT license. This means that all technologies that ship with it have to be free, as in freedom as well. For most part, they're developed from ground up by contributors. Anyone can plug in proprietary tools for the needs of the projects. They won't just ship with the engine. This may include Google, AdMob, or FMod. Any of these can come as third-party plugins instead. On the other hand, an open code base means you can learn from and extend the engine to your heart's content. You can also debug games easily, as Godot will print errors with a stack trace, even if they come from the engine itself. Note, this does not affect the work you do with Godot in any way. There's no strings attached to the engine or anything you make with it. Community driven. Godot is made by its community, for the community, and for all game creators out there. It's the needs of the users and opens discussions that drive the core updates. New features from the core developers often focus on what will benefit the most users first. That said, although a handful of core developers work on it full-time, the project has thousands of contributors at the time of writing. Benevolent programmers work on features they may need themselves, so you'll see improvements in all corners of the engine at the same time in every major release. The Godot editor is a Godot game. The Godot editor runs on the game engine. It uses the engine's own UI system. It can hot reload code and scenes when you test your projects or run gaming code in the editor. This means you can use the same code and the scenes for your games or build plugins to extend the editor. This leads to a reliable and flexible UI system as it powers the editor itself. With the @ tool annotation, you can run any game code in the editor. RPG in a Box is a voxel RPG editor made with Godot 2. It uses Godot's UI tool for its node-based programming system and the rest for the interface. Put the @ tool annotation at the top of any Godot GDScript file and it will run in the editor. This lets you import and export plugins, create plugins like custom level editors, or create scripts with the same nodes and API you use in your projects. Note, the editor is fully written in C++ and is statically compiled into the binary. Okay, and statically compiled into the binary. This means you can't import it as a typical project that would have a project.godot file. Separate 2D and 3D engines. Godot offers dedicated 2D and 3D rendering engines. As a result, the base unit for 2D scenes is pixels. Even though engines are separate, you can render 2D and 3D and 3D and 2D. and overlay 2D sprites interfaces in your over your 3D world. Interesting. Okay, so next time, step by step. That's it for this today. And yeah. Check me out on Twitch TV, Hidrux, previous sessions on YouTube, Hidrux Gaming. Later.